Hi everyone, good evening. My name is Sandra Esinamapenon. I'm here for business. New owners of ECG Meralco is to formally take over the company from next month. Under the Millennium Development Compact Agreement, Meralco is required to assume work from February this year. Chief Executive of the Millennium Development Authority, Martin Ishon Benjamin, tells Joy Business there's no room for delays in the takeover.
It's in line with the timetable that we drew. That anytime we go to Parliament and Parliament approves the agreements, we have 6 months, 180 days, in which we consummate the agreement. That to say, in which we should transfer. So if you count the days, 1st February is the deadline. So we need it to, and we have to stick to it, because in the last budget that was read, the minister stood in Parliament and said that ECG will be transferred on the 1st of February, because that's the information that had been passed on to him, and we want to stand by it.
Have the necessary audits and all the rest been completed? Because I know for the new party, they would also want certain box to be ticked as well, to know that all these things have been done. From what you've seen, have all those things been done, that this schedule would indeed come on?
The process has been engaged. Obviously, as I said earlier on, there are two opportunities: handover, and in the process, there are issues that are low-hanging, which can be taken on board as the new company comes in. If there's any disagreement, as they come in and look into the books, they'll be seeing a lot more things. But they are committed to taking over on the 1st of February. And therefore, there is a condition subsequent, or a waiver, or a deferral, which the Americans can agree to do for us. They can decide that where we've reached, we are waiving this particular activity, which we thought you need to meet. It's all left in the hands of the parties to make sure that they put themselves in a position which makes everybody comfortable.
Well, meanwhile, the Millennium Development Authority has reiterated no staff will be laid off when the new owners take over. Let's do some other stories now. The Ghana Statistical Service has started a mapping exercise throughout the country as part of preparation towards the 2020 population and housing census. Acting government statistician David Combat tells Joy Business the Ghana Statistical Service will be employing modern technology to ensure a successful compilation of data during the exercise.
The mapping exercise seeks to update the 2010 census enumeration areas. The enumeration area is the smallest spatial unit for one enumerator to work in during the census period and constitutes one of the most essential aids required to achieve a complete enumeration during the census.
We are preparing, and we have government has...
Acting statistician David Combat said about 80 cartographic staff would be deployed to start updating these enumeration areas in the Upper East, Upper West, Northern regions, and subsequently roll over to other parts of the country.
We hope to finish the full work by September 2019, and then we would now be working with the office work. Then we have also developed the questionnaire that we intend to use to collect the information. It's in the draft stage. We are consulting with stakeholders to find out whether there are some questions to add on, or some modifications to some of the questions we have already asked, so that we can have it pre-tested and then we pilot it.
He added the 2020 census will cover data on the unemployed rate in the country as well.
That there are definitional challenges. For us, when we say somebody is unemployed, it is different from what the layman says he's unemployed. Somebody has finished the university with a degree in economics. He wants to work in a bank or where he works with him. But what is immediately available is a class to teach.
The last census in 2010 involved 37,000 enumeration areas, which the Statistical Service says has become necessary due to the migration and relocation of residents.
The central bank says it has no hand in the 2 billion Ghana bailout for 5 local banks. This follows an earlier call on government by the Union of Graduate Teachers to halt the use of pension funds to support struggling local banks. Time now to check a compilation of stories in the local business scene.
Aker Energy has discovered oil in commercial quantity in Ghana, estimated around 450 to 550 million barrels, the company has announced. The well was drilled at the Pecan field approximately 166 kilometers southwest of Takoradi in Ghana to a vertical depth of 4,870 meters in 2,667 meters of water. The central bank has denied playing any direct role in the selection of 5 banks for recapitalization under the Ghana Amalgamated Trust, GATT. GATT is an arrangement of private pension funds to inject 2 billion Ghana cedis into supporting solvent and well-run indigenous banks, which were otherwise having difficulties meeting the new minimum capital requirement of 400 million Ghana cedis. The Association of Ghana Industries, AGI, has asked government to ensure an early release of the $1 billion it's pledged in the 2019 budget towards industrial development. An early release of the funds, it said, will accelerate the country's industrial development, improve confidence in the economy, ensure that the desired impact is generated, as well as lend credence to government's industrial transformation agenda.
So those were summaries from some local stories making headlines elsewhere across the country too. Other stories, some waste management companies say they have uncovered alleged violation of national procurement regulations in the award of sanitation contracts to Zoomlion. They want investigations into what they describe as imposition of Zoomlion contracts on newly created assemblies. A group calling itself Alliance for Environmental Sanitation wants government to stop paying Zoomlion from the District Assembly Common Fund. Convener of the Alliance, Mark Kakraba Ampa, addressed a media in Kumasi.
To, as a matter of urgency, stop further payments from the District Assembly Common Fund to Zoomlion and cause investigations into circumstances leading to imposition of contracts on the newly created municipal assemblies in gross violation of national procurement regulations. The third purpose is to call on the President of the Republic, His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, who desires to make Accra the cleanest city in Africa, to aggressively eliminate the monopoly of Zoomlion and create a level playing field for healthy competition to give Ghanaians value for money in environmental sanitation management. Zoomlion has been imposing contracts that it generates by itself. The recent issues with the new municipalities that have been created, after delivering the vehicles, Zoomlion followed up with contracts, which we will share with you. This one is in respect of Kwadasu Municipal Assembly. And the reason why we are saying that Zoomlion is looting public funds is this. All other waste management companies in the metropolitan areas in this country are doing full cost recovery of waste. And so therefore, if Zoomlion is in that industry in these areas, they are also supposed to be doing same. Now, the contract that Zoomlion distributed to these assemblies and is urging them, in fact, they have prepared the contract, signed their parts, and brought them to the assemblies to also sign. Section 4 of the agreement assumes that the assemblies agreed with Zoomlion to deliver the trucks when the delivery indeed was on Zoomlion's own volition. Under Section 5, which defines the obligations of Zoomlion, there is no definition of the volume of services to be provided by Zoomlion. There's no definition of operational area. Zoomlion is supposed to procure the services of personnel who will be manning this equipment and pay them and pay for fuel and carry out repairs and maintenance.
All right, so that's how we wrap up tonight on Business with me, Sandra Esinam. For more business news, do log on to our website, myjoyonline.com/business. It's grateful having us always on Business with me, Sandra Esinam. Thanks so much for watching.